And good afternoon, everybody. Hello and welcome. My name is Paul Grogan, and today I'm going to be doing a solo playthrough of Assembly, designed by Janice and Stu Turner, published by Wren Games. This is a 1 to 2 player game, but I'm going to be doing a solo playthrough of it today, and I'm going to be teaching you how to play as we go. Now, if you can hear me and see me okay, please let me know in the chat, which yet again is not working. Apologies for this. I just need to click a couple of buttons, and for some reason I need to do this every time. And I don't know why. But there's that one. So yeah, if you're watching this on Facebook, the comments should work there. And also if you're watching this on YouTube, the comments should work there. But they're not working. I'll have to fix that later on. Right, I'm going to switch to the overhead camera now, which is this one. And I've got it all set up. And there we go. So the YouTube comments are here. Oliver's here. Emma's here. Tom's here. Can hear me and see me okay. Excellent. And hopefully Janice is able to pop in as well. Mainly, I like to have the designers and publishers here, just in case I make any rules mistakes. But this is a fairly simple game, so it should be okay. Let's just try and get the Facebook comments work. If anybody is watching this on Facebook and wants to drop any comments in there, it probably is working actually. We will see. Yeah, so if you're watching this live on Facebook, drop a comment into the chat. And we'll see how we get on. So yes, so this is a 1 to 2 player game. I mentioned I'm going to be doing the solo game today. There are some differences in the setup for the solo game. Basically, you remove 4 cards. These 4 cards here, these are removed from the deck for the solo game. Also, if you're playing this game as a 2-player game, there is a whole page of rules on limited communication between the players. And I do want to play this at 2-player because it looks really interesting in the way that it isn't just like, oh, you can't say certain things to each other, but basically one player has to say that they're doing a particular action, and if the other player doesn't have that action in their hand, then it doesn't work. They've got to verify the action. So solo game today, which means I don't have to do that. But what we're doing is we're playing on blue difficulty level. Now, if Janice is in the chat, I'm not sure if you can help me with this. The normal game, the base game, these are blank. So you'll notice I've got 4 cards at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I've got this wrong, haven't I? 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. I can't add up. And in the basic game, these are completely blank. But I have a whole variety of different colours. And I've chosen to go with the blue ones, which is letter C. I don't know if they are in increasing difficulty. I don't know if B is easy and C is hard and D is impossible. I'm not sure. But I've chosen to go with the blue ones today. Oliver's here to help out as well. Excellent. So we're all set up. These are the different locations in the game, and they've been shuffled and they've been dealt out, as you can see, in a clock face. So I did that off camera. I then have the deck of cards, and as I say, the 4 cards have been taken out. So we have a deck of cards, and 2 extra cards have been taken out here. And that's because we are going to go through this deck 3 times in total during the course of the game. The first time we go through it, we will then add this card in, and it will get shuffled in. And then the second time we go through it, we add this card in, which is an amazing card. It's a wild card. And then we go through it a 3rd time. If this deck ever runs out for a 3rd time, we have lost. Let's talk a little bit about the theme of the game. Because although this is an abstract puzzle, there is a theme behind it. Basically, we're on it's an orbital platform that constructs luxury spaceships. There's been a swarm of micro-meteoric impacts. Deadly virus has emerged and wiped out the entire staff apart from me. And I've chosen to play Alfie today, which was voted on the Board Game Trading in Chat UK Facebook group. It got 2 votes. So Alfie wins. Thank you very much to people who voted for Alfie. It seems that I have a natural immunity to this virus, but the onboard computer has quarantined the station, and is now venting all of the oxygen outside to make sure nothing survives. Oh, Loki's joined us. Hello, Loki. That's my cat that you can hear meowing. There's a half-built spaceship on one of the assembly lines, and basically we're trying to assemble that spaceship, which is why it's called assembly, and then we're going to flee the space station and head back to Earth. This is actually part 1 of a 2-part series of games. The second game has just come out. It's called Sensor Ghosts. And I'm planning to do a solo playthrough of that in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much to Janice for sending me a copy of this game, but this is not a sponsored video. A lot of people watching know that I do a lot of commissioned work, creating videos for publishers. This is not one of them. I've not been paid any money to do this video. Janice has promised to buy me a pack of Jaffa cakes. I guess that sounds like payment. But this is purely funded through my Patreon campaign. I'm doing a bit of a Patreon drive this month. I want to be doing more solo playthroughs next year. And if my Patreon reaches the next stretch goal, as it were, then I'll do more solo playthroughs moving into 2020. So if you like this video or any other content that I make, please consider supporting me on Patreon. We're very close to that next goal. Anyway, right. We're going to make a start. I think we're all ready. So Oliver says they're all a bit tricky. Blue will be fine. Okay, so I get the impression they're not increasing difficulty levels. Well, we'll see. So Alfie has a special ability, and this is a once per game ability. There are 7 characters with the base game and other characters with the expansion. There is a little mini expansion called Glitches. I'm going to talk about this at the end. I'm not going to be using it today, but I will mention that at the end of the video. And yeah, the replayability is you've got different characters. Obviously, the setup is going to be slightly different each time, but you also have these, I think they're malfunctions. And they'll be different as well. Right. So we're going to start playing. Ian's here. Hi, Ian. Thank you very much for dropping in. Too busy to stay. Yes, you've got the Dead Reckoning game to work on and the Kanban game to work on. Because I can't do my bit until you've done your bit. I write top left and then Ian moves the icon to the top right. Anyway, good working with you, Ian. And yes, I will speak to you soon. Right. So we have a deck of cards, put that there, and we draw 3 cards to form my opening hand. Now what I've not done is I've not left space on camera for my hand, so I'll put it here. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, I will go through these cards in a minute, but they are in my hand. Again, if you were playing this 2-player, you would not be putting the cards visible. Your opponent can't see your cards. There is one thing left to do in setup, I believe, which is to roll the die. And again, thank you very much to Jason Dinger for the dice rolling tray, which has been homemade. You wouldn't think it, because it's very, very professionally done. It's really nice. So anyway, we're going to roll the D12 and we have 6. So these are the different modules, and we're going to take the first module. These were shuffled. I don't know what the order that they're in, and it goes on location number 6. So this is actually the hydroponics module. It needs to get over there. The objective of the game is to get all of the modules into their correct locations and lock them in. If I do that before I run out of time, I win. And then there's a point system that we'll cover at the end. Done that. 3 command cards to each player, and we are ready to go. So the turn order is printed on my little reference card here. But for a solo game, we actually skip steps 1 and 2. And what we do is we just declare an action, and then we perform it. So let's go through the actions that we've got. Janice is here. And with 2 packs, you can play up to 4 players. Oh, cool. And you're saying C is the hardest. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so I've gone with the hardest difficulty setting, and I've never played this game before, so this should be fun. I have watched a couple of playthroughs. Thank you very much to Ricky Royal and to Greyboard Gamer for their videos that they did, which I watched in the early hours of this morning. Right, anyway, back to the cards. So what this one does, this card here, very, very simple. It rotates all of the modules clockwise by either 1 space or 2 space. I choose 1 space or 2 space, and then I rotate all of the modules clockwise by that amount. So if I played this now, I could move this module either to here or to here, which isn't great because that's not actually helping me. Right. These other cards that I have, these have 2 uses. I can either use them to take another module, roll the dice and put it in that position on the board, or to lock in 2 modules which are in their correct positions. So I obviously can't play it for that at the moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this card, and I'm going to choose that. So I take one of these, and then we roll to see where it's going to go. So this is the security module. Let's see where it is. I mean, you might get lucky with this game. You might roll a 4, and I didn't. I rolled a 9. So that goes on the navigation one there. Apply all applicable effects for malfunction, which I don't think there is any. I think that's if you lock in a particular area. I think that's right. That's what I saw in all the videos anyway. Malfunctions. The computer's attempt to intervene during setup. Choose malfunctions. Done that. These manifest in one of 2 ways. The negative effect activates if the requirement is not met, and they have a firm requirement, and you cannot lock the bay without meeting this requirement in full. I probably should read these. So to lock navigation, I must discard an additional deploy stroke lock card to this base. So it's going to cost 2 of these cards to lock that. Right, that's nasty. Oh, I see. There's a little icon on, and the icon means it affects how you lock that area. So this one up here, you must discard any 3 cards as a wild to lock this bay. This counts as a wild. 3 is when locking this bay, you may additionally lock bay 4. Standard rules apply. Okay, so that's a good one. And this bay must only be locked on its own or with an even numbered bay. Right, okay, so there's the malfunctions. Suggest you read them before you start. Yes, I've done. Only occur when you lock that bay. Yeah, except this one, and this one actually affect the rules for locking the bay. Yeah, it's purple on the other side. Right. So there we go. So we've played that, we've deployed that, and then at the end of your turn, you basically draw up to your hand limit, which is, there we go. Right, so what does that one do? That swaps any 2 pieces to the opposite side. As I say, it's a little bit of a puzzle. It's trying to work out the best way to do things. Oh, and I found other bits in the rulebook about suggested signs. Okay, right. I haven't read that bit because I think that's for the 2-player game. Swap the positions of any 2 unlocked modules. Ah, no, it's not swapping opposite. Apologies for that. It's swapping any 2. Swap the positions of any 2 unlocked modules. Ah, right. I obviously saw that wrong in the video this morning. It was early. Now, Alfie's ability. When executing the swap command action, swap the positions of 2 blueprint cards. Oh, right. Oh, okay, interesting. So I can actually swap the cards instead. Interesting. He's the requirements manager. Yeah, okay, I can swap blueprints cards. Right, okay. So what are we going to do next? I don't really want to swap. I mean, if I played that now, I could swap these 2 over. Janice is saying the 2-player has a sign language variant. Right, that's what that is. I could deploy another one. Do I want to rotate them clockwise? No, I don't think I do. So I'm going to play this one to get another module will come out. We have a 3. Now I assume if you get a module that is already occupied, you re-roll. Is that right? I'll ask Janice so you can show me in the chat. What happens if you roll the module that's already occupied? Do you re-roll or does it go to the next one? I haven't read that bit in the rulebook. Right, so that was that, and now I draw back up. We have another one of these. Now these are good, obviously, because they're getting extra modules on the board, but they are also the ones that are used for locking in. And there's only 6 of those in the deck, and I'm only going to go through the deck 3 times. So right now, what have we drawn? We have drawn the medical one. So right now, I am drawing things that are miles away from where they are, but I could do some swapperoonies, and if I was to swap them 2 over, and then I was to rotate clockwise, the navigation module would end up, sorry, it's the security module. The security module will end up in security, but the medical module will end up in the transporter. Next available bay in a clockwise direction. Yeah, I thought so, because otherwise you'd be re-rolling forever. Now, you want to lock in 2 things. You want to be efficient with these cards. I can't lock in 2 things at the moment. I'm just going to play this and I'm going to get another module out. So it is the bed module, which is quarters. 4. Okay, so the quarters module appears here. Right. Is this helping me at all? Yes, I think it is now, because what I can now do is I can swap some things over and then move clockwise. The other thing I haven't mentioned is you can throw 3 cards away, your entire hand basically. You can throw 3 cards away to act as a wild card, and a wild card allows you to do any one of the 4 actions. So you can do that. So what I'm thinking is if this goes clockwise to here, if I was to swap that with that and move that one clockwise, I could then lock these 2 in. But that's actually a waste, because when I lock in this bay, I can also lock bay 4 normally. But that would get them in the right positions. It definitely would, wouldn't it? So, oh, I kind of want another module on the board before I do. Yeah, I'm going to play this. Again, I've not played before, so this is a learning game. for me, rules-wise and also strategy-wise, but I am going to now deploy another module. So what module have we got now? We have the AI core. The AI core is, what's that? 10. So that goes on number 10. That goes on the transporter. Don't know what it's doing there. And where does that belong? That belongs there. And let's draw a new card. Oh, I've got another one. I know it seems I'm just playing the same card and doing the same thing, but I am actually thinking about what I'm doing each time and whether I actually now want to start considering locking things in. And I don't think I am, because I want to lock in two things at once. But because when I lock in bay 3, I get to lock in bay 4, I want to try and get another one in position. I've already got my swap sorted. So go on, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to deploy another one. I'm going with the deploy all the modules first strategy, which I've just come up with. Right, that's the elevator module, and that goes on number 11. Okay, let's draw a card. I've drawn another one. These were shuffled, but most of the cards in the deck are that. Oliver's saying you tend to deploy modules a lot at the beginning too, so to give you more options. And Graham is here in the Facebook chat. Thank you very much for letting me know that the Facebook chat is working. So yes, deploying modules early seems to be working out for me, but that's just because of the way that the cards have come out and the different things that are there. Now I could do the swap action and swap blueprints. I should have been thinking about this. And presumably if I swap a blueprint that has a module on it, that module moves with it, I assume. But I need another swap. Right. I'm just going to have a look at what these two cards are, because I do want to know what cards are in the deck. So there's a swap and a rotate anyway. I'm going to reshuffle them. So, because I would know that, the cards left in my deck are a swap and a rotate, either left or right. So, what I'm going to do no, I think I've got it. I think I've worked it out. Make sure you check how many cards you have left in the draw pile, because time is against you. Yes. So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play a swap. I'm not going to use Alfie's special ability, but I am going to swap these two over. Remember, you can swap any two, but I need that to be there. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm not functioning properly today. My grandmaster plan of locking this in and then locking that in isn't going to work, because it's actually these two that I'm locking in. I'm not locking in bay 3. But what I was saying is I don't want to lock this in, because I get a free lock-in of this whenever I lock that in. But the engineering module hasn't come out yet. Anyway, I've done that. I've swapped them over. And let's take another card. Right, that's the rotate in any direction. So is that going to help me? So I've got a rotate clockwise and a rotate any direction. And yeah, whenever you rotate, you can do 1 or 2 spaces. Count, yes, look now. Can't remember what that was in relation to, sorry. Right, let's just have a think about this. It is a bit of a puzzle, so I am going to have to just take a minute to have a think about how I'm going to get these modules into the right position. Because I could play this and move everything anti-clockwise 1 space, and that puts 1 on medical, but that's moving these two away from there where they should be. I haven't got another swap. That's the swap. I could just deploy and then draw the swap. Yeah, let's deploy. Right, I'm going to deploy again, and this time we have the transporter module, which goes on position 8. So that goes there, and then I draw this card. Now, I don't do the deck refresh yet. You only do it when you cannot draw a card, and I don't need to draw a card yet. So that needs to go there. I think I'm planning to turn everything counterclockwise 1 space. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. How do I get that? If I can put that next to this, so yeah, so Janice, was you answering my question? Alfie, when Alfie swaps blueprint cards, if I was to swap the research lab now, you're saying that the counter doesn't go with it. Just let me know that. But you'll need to put my question in the chat because there's a 25-second delay. I won't see it for a while. Yeah, because that changes things. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to do the swap. So I'll wait for Janice to answer that question. Because that does make a difference. Because I need this counter here. The module will stay. Thank you. So I'm going to do the swap. And I am going to swap the elevator with the transporter. Okay. There we go. That's what I've done. So that's Alfie's ability used. So we should get rid of that card now because he's been used. Sorry, Alfie. And now I'm drawing a card, but I can't draw a card. So what happens is I'm going to add the first set aside card to the deck. Then I'm going to shuffle them all. But then what happens is, oh, and this is bad. Yeah. Oh, this is really bad. I'd forgotten about this. We scramble all unlocked blueprints. So all of my hard work that I've been setting myself up to do is all now going to be completely undone. Again, learning game. Whatever you do, don't play like this because I think this is now a bit of a disaster. I didn't lock in any modules, which essentially means they all get completely scrambled. So, yeah, everything I was planning to do using Alfie's ability, that was a waste. Well, it is a learning game. I am showing you how not to play the game. Hopefully I'm getting you the correct rules, but strategy-wise, definitely leaves a little bit to be desired. And I can see how these blue malfunction cards are actually really difficult. Return him to the box. He can only manage to be special once. Yeah, but I don't want to put him back in the box. I mean, look at him. He's so cute. His big ears sticking out. Right. Okay, off we go again. Now, have I put these in the correct positions? I hope so. So that one went there. That one went there. Pretty sure that was on the 6. Don't think there was anything on the 7. That was on the 8. That was on the 9. That's on the 10. And that was on the 11. Right, let's have a look at this situation now because it's all changed. And now I draw back up to my hand size. Right, so what do we have? We have the quarters are here and they need to go there. Security is here and needs to go there. Medical needs to go there. The elevator needs to go there. The AI core needs to go here. Right, well, okay. It's a normal first playthrough error. Okay, well that's good. I'm going to sneeze any minute, so apologies for that. Right, yeah, you need to lock a couple in at the start because otherwise everything that you've been working towards, as you saw, will disappear. So I can rotate. Is there anything that I can do? So if I rotate counterclockwise, I can get the transporter to here. What else does it get me? It doesn't get that there, doesn't get that there, doesn't get that. Oh, it gets that. Awesome. Let's do that. So I'm going to play this. We're going to choose counterclockwise and I'm going to choose 2 spaces. So everything moves 2 spaces counterclockwise. Done. Okay. Draw a new card. Then I'm going to play this, and we're going to lock in 2 cards. So we're going to lock in the quarters. So basically that flips over. And I think you can get rid of this module. I don't think you need this module now. I think that can go. And I'm going to lock in the transporter. Oh, I can. This bay must only be locked on its own or with an even numbered bay. Right, okay. Jolly good. So that can go. And I think that malfunction card is done for now. That's not going to affect anything. Right, we're 2 modules locked in. Drawn lots of swap cards. Now, this might actually be quite good. Yeah. Is it going to be good? Is it not going to be good? Well, I can get that to medical. And I can get that to there. But that's about all I can do. Okay, so let's do it. Let's swap, and let's swap that one and that one. Let's draw a card. Aha, right. I think I'm going to swap another one. I'm going to swap that one with that one. Because I'm hoping to draw a lock card. There you go, which I will then play. And I'm going to lock in the elevator. And I'm going to lock in medical. So there you go. That's not a bad start to the second cycle. It's 4 modules locked in. Draw a new card, which has got to be one of those because I think they are all those. Am I going to be able to lock in anything else this particular time round? I mean, I could rotate and get that to security, but I need to discard another lock card to lock that in, which I will have. So that will work. That will totally work. Let's do it. So I'm rotating clockwise by 2 spaces. Draw a card. I kind of want another one in position, don't I? Okay, let's deploy. Because I haven't been deploying. I've been very slack with my deploying of things. What do we have? We have a 3. So that goes there. Well, that's no good. That is it. That needs to be in the shuttle bay. I'll deploy another one. Because I know what these cards are. We have the engineering module, which is on position 10, but it can't be 10, so it goes to here. We draw a new one. Right, I need to lock some in. So this is really inefficient, but I think I'm going to do it. I am going to play this to do 2 locks, but I can only lock 1 in, but I need to discard another card to lock it in because of this malfunction card. Ian's here as well. Thank you very much, Ian, for joining in. And Ian saying he loves the game. Graham Hartley is also in the chat on Facebook. Thank you for joining in, Graham. 2 Grahams in the Facebook chat. Anyway, we're done. We've locked in the security module, which was hard to do, but that is done. And now I have to draw a card, and I can't. So we move to the 3rd and final cycle. That gets shuffled in. Unfortunately, because I played 2 cards on my turn, I'm going to draw 2 cards, which means I'm going through this deck quicker than I would normally. Okay, and then we're going to scramble all of these modules, which is actually not a bad thing because I don't think any of them were in the right position. Oh, engineering was. But I don't think I could have done that because of that. Yeah, I think that's right. Tina's here as well. Thank you for joining in, Tina. So solo games are a thing, apparently. I've got a lot of friends who play a lot of solo games, and I've kind of shied away from playing solo games. This is not something that I would... yeah, I'm not a solo gamer, but since I started doing the live streaming, I've actually been enjoying it. I probably still wouldn't do this if it wasn't, you know, for people watching. But yeah, I can see the appeal of it. I'd definitely be playing this 2-player though with Vicky. I don't know whether she'd like it or not, but I'm going to make her play it anyway. Right, anything in the right position? Yes. Nice. Hydroponics is in the right position. Engineering is in the right position. We draw 2 cards. We are on the final cycle. I don't think we're going to do this. We're totally not going to do this. If this deck runs out and we can't draw another card, we lose. We still do the points. You still add up the points though. And we've still got 3 modules to get out, which means I'm going to have to play 3 of these cards to just deploy modules. Yeah, not going to happen, is it? Now, if I want to lock these 2 in, I think that you must discard any 3 cards as a wild to lock this bay. This counts as a wild. I'm not too sure of the wording there. This counts as a wild. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use these 3 cards as a wild, and I'm going to choose the locking in, and I'm going to lock in these 2 modules. Because I'm not going to win, I don't think, so I'm going to try and get as many points as I can get. I think you get points for locking in modules. I hope you do anyway. So that's those 2 in. I'm then going to draw 3 cards from my deck. The deck is almost empty. Oh, look at this. Right. So well, I'm going to play that to deploy this. It is the Research Lab. Research Lab goes on position 5. Draw a card. I'm going to play another one. Deploy this module. This is the VR Lab. Position 1. Can't go on position 1, so it goes to the nearest one clockwise, which is there. And then I'm going to play another one just to get all of them out. This is the Captain's Wheel. Position 12. Oh, in fact, you don't bother rolling because it's there. It's the only place it can go. Right, we're done. All the modules are out. How can I do? How much of these can I get locked in? Are any of them in the right place? No. I've got to swap. Can I swap 2 so that they're in the right place? No. What about if I rotate? So that's 1 away that way. That's no. That's no. And that's yes. So I can do that. So let's do that. I'm going to rotate everything counterclockwise. Actually, most of the people watching are in England. So I'm going to say anti-clockwise. There you go. 1 for the Brits. So anti-clockwise, 1 space. So that moves to there. That moves to there. That moves to there. That moves to there. And that moves to there. Did I get it right? Yes. Draw a card. Play that to lock in these 2. Now, because I've locked that in, I can also lock in Bay 4. But Bay 4 is already locked in. Draw a card. I have 2 turns left. Is it going to work? It's not going to work. It is not going to work, but I'm close. Yeah, I'm very close. So if I swap those 2 over, no. If I swap those 2 over, no. If I swap them, no. So I'll just play that. And I will move everything clockwise 2 spaces. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Everything is now in the final position. How close was this? I then play that to lock in these 2 modules. And the game is over, and I had 1 module left to lock in. So I didn't succeed, but I think I came back from a very big critical tactical mistake in the first round of the game. Yeah, so Oliver says, think you can do it. Yeah, I didn't. Unless there is something at the end of the game. Let's just have a look at the end of the game, see if I've missed anything. Do you carry on playing all of your cards? Or not? Increasing difficulty, don't want to do that just yet. Refreshing the deck, don't want to do that. Where is it? Well done, that was excellent. I didn't do it. I mean, well done at doing what I did. Where is the game end condition? Where is the game end condition? Should be near the start. Commands. Malfunctions, rotating modules, malfunctions, refreshing the deck. I may have missed it. So close as always. So I think people are basically saying game end conditions. You lose the game immediately if you have refreshed the command deck twice and you need to draw a card and you can't. Yeah, so we didn't succeed, but that was a lot of fun. Definitely play again. I'd probably play again with the same of these malfunctions because I know them now. But as I say, there are other malfunctions available which will change the way that the game plays and change what you do. And the character, I wasted Alfie's ability. I'm really sorry, Alfie. I wasted your ability. And there are multiple characters. Now, I did say I was going to mention the Glitches expansion. So there is a Glitches mini expansion which contains 2 extra characters, another whole level of these malfunction cards, but also a series of glitch cards. And what the glitch cards do, these increase the difficulty. But what you do is at the start of the game, you remember when I had 2 cards set out here that will get shuffled in? Well, what you do is you take a glitch out at random, you put it underneath there, and then you take another glitch out at random and you put it underneath there. And then when those cards get added in, you basically resolve the glitch card. So to give you an example, this is, you must choose that the next card you execute must be chosen randomly, or to discard this card, discard a total of 2 solo cards collectively to execute any command. So yeah, basically glitches make the game harder. So there is quite a bit of scalability in the difficulty setting, which in a game like this, which is relatively simple, I think is needed. Because otherwise, once you've played it a couple of times, you're like, okay, well, I've beaten it with Alfie. Don't need to play it again. But actually, with the multiple different malfunctions you've got and the different glitches, definitely increases the replayability. So anyway, that is everything. Richard is here in the Facebook chat. So close. Yeah, so close. 1 module in the right position. Very, very close. Anyway, as I mentioned at the start, this is not a sponsored video. This is purely funded through my Patreon campaign. So to all of my Patreon supporters that are watching, thank you very much for making all of this possible. I want to continue to do more solo playthroughs moving forward into 2020. So if you like the content that I make and you want to support me on Patreon, I'm very close to meeting the next goal. And then I'll be doing more solo playthroughs. But I do want to do Sensor Ghosts. So depending on what my plans are between Christmas and New Year, I might do a solo playthrough of Sensor Ghosts week after next. We will see. Also, quick shout out to what's coming on the channel tomorrow. I'm doing 3 live streams tomorrow if you're interested in any of these games. I'm doing, most of you have probably never heard of this. This is Frontier Wars. This came out at Essen. You all right, Loki? Do you want to play Frontier Wars? No, he wants to eat my chicken curry. So this is Van Ryder Games. I think they've also just released it at PAX Unplugged just last weekend. It's kind of a war game style thing, but yeah, not the kind of game I normally cover on the channel, but I'm going to be doing this tomorrow afternoon. Then I'm doing Era, the medieval age, from Matt Leacock. Yes, I know. I'll get your food in a minute. Oh, you just want some, you want some camera time, do you? Come on. No? You're shy. Okay, anyway, Era, the medieval age. I'm doing that tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then tomorrow evening, I'm doing Railroad Evolution, which is the Railroad Revolution expansion set, which means I've got to remember to learn how to play the base game. Anyway, I'm doing all of those tomorrow. Thank you very much to everybody for joining in the chat. Thank you for everybody for watching afterwards. And yeah, until next time, take care. I'll see you soon. There you go. Gaming Rules is proudly sponsored by Game Toppers, upgrading your gaming experience. Visit GameToppersLLC.com.